Should I pay off my mortgage or invest? Now, you are going to be stunned at what I am going to talk to you about. I'm bringing on one of my partners and dear colleagues, friends, Justin Bennett. We're going to talk about, should you pay off your mortgage? We've been in real estate. We're real estate multimillionaires. Or do you invest? I think you know the answer. So should you pay off your mortgage or not? Now, there are sorts of experts who say, absolutely, you should live debt free. And then really, when you think about it, debt's the cost of money. If you get a mortgage for as low as it's been in the past years, 1.5, 2, 2.5, even 3.5, and sort of even jumbos are, around 4. Is that really the money that you want to spend and pay off a mortgage entirely? I have brought my friend, my partner, Justin Bennett, to this conversation because this one gets a little heated. So specifically, reasons to pay off your mortgage earlier. What's the benefits? We're going to talk about the drawbacks of paying off your mortgage early, the benefits for investing the cash versus pay off the mortgage, and maybe you work on a little of both. So Justin, what's your first reaction? Do you pay off your mortgage or invest first?
So my first reaction is I don't want to offend anybody. The Dave Ramsey followers are the people that love and their only goal in life is to live debt free and feel like they don't owe anybody anything. But I'll promise you there are not many people like that are going to live the lifestyle that you're here to learn about. So my initial reaction to that is why? Why would you do that? Like Loral says, with interest rates the way they are, even in the recent weeks and months, as they start to see an increase, we're still talking, like she says, between the 4s and the 5s, depending on your credit. And with any seasoned investors and following the methods and tactics that you learn at the big table here, anything you do as far as investing should earn you way more than 4 to 5%. So realistically, every single month that you're getting to hold on to that mortgage payment, you're also losing out on a ton of money you could be making with that money. So, we talk about lazy assets, and if you want to have lazy assets, the fastest way to have the biggest lazy asset on earth is to pay off your house.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just take some simple math. Say you have a $500,000 house and you put 100 down. Why take 400 to pay off 3, 4, 5% interest when you could take 400 and get it to work at 10, 12, 20% interest? I mean, even at 10%, you're making $40,000 a year if by investing it versus paying off a mortgage, which then, as Justin said, becomes what we call a lazy asset. The only way that you're going to get around that, we do have a few creative older clients who then have opened up their homes for, like a B&B or short-term rentals, and you can actually cash flow a little bit. That's not typical, but let's talk about some other reasons not to, Justin.
Not to pay off your mortgage?
Pay it off.
Obviously, like Loral says, anytime we have that sort of asset sitting there with the spreads in what you can make between the 4 or 5 and the 10 to 12%, what most people don't understand is they don't break that down. They don't see, that extra $40,000 that they make investing that $400,000, what that monthly payment comes out to. So if that monthly payment is, $2,000 or, $3,000, that's still an extra $1,000 a month you have that you wouldn't have had because that money that you borrowed is working against it. So instead of saving that $3,000 on the payment, you're actually getting $4,000 and paying $3,000. So you're $1,000 ahead. And what people don't understand and don't do enough due diligence on is what that spread is really costing them in the long run. Yes, you're living debt free. Yes, you feel fancy because you don't have to make a payment. But at the end of the day, if you set it up on auto pay and you never think about it, number one, you're not making the payment. You've got extra money coming into your accounts. And with the appreciation, you're still getting a ton of equity in the meantime. There's a loss of even more money when you have your house paid off and the value goes up. You're losing even more because you're not technically gaining any equity or any net worth because that money is paid off and you're not going to realize that until the end when you sell it, versus if you had it invested and you're generating income or cash flow or putting in a qualified plan, whatever the case may be, your net worth is going to continue to go up during the whole process as opposed to not realizing it till the end.
Absolutely. I mean, just do some basic math. Go out to a compounding calculator and in that example, I mean, an extra 40,000 a year, take that over the 20, 30 years that you would have paid the mortgage and compound that at 10%, 12%. I mean, the S&P's at 15%. See how much money you could accumulate of additional assets and then over time slowly pay down the house. So that's kind of where we're going to stand firmly on this one. It also helps your credit, also helps your tax schedule, because you'll continue to have a depreciation schedule with that asset. Right now, I want you to go subscribe to my channel. You've been here on YouTube. We've been here since July 12th of 2021. We are going to be here for years to come, every 10 or 15 minutes a day. We want you to get that notification that we're here live. If you have any questions that you want us to talk about, put it in the comment bar and share it with some friends, because most of you, your financial literacy comes from opinions of your friends, not from the truth of real experts. So what Justin's talking about is what we call an arbitrage. It's the spread between the interest rates. What did you find, Justin, that the reason a lot of people just pay down their house is because they don't know how to find the 10, 12, 15% investment? I mean, what do you think the real reason is? Is it some of it's because I want to be debt free? But I find that I don't know what I invest in otherwise, so it's just easier to do that. What's your experience?
I would say a vast majority of the people, exactly like you say, are afraid to not pay that money down and not pay other houses off, because if they did have that much money, they wouldn't know what to do with it. They wouldn't know how to find these deals or how to invest that money wisely to ensure those type of returns. Because at the end of the day, if you just have that and you're taking that 400,000 to make the payments without investing and realizing a gain on that money, then absolutely you're throwing away and wasting tons of money, because it's going to cost you more than $400,000 to borrow that money if you don't invest it properly. So 100%, that's why community like the Big Table here is so beneficial, as far as teaching you not only how to find those investments, but how to do the due diligence and uncover the truth behind those investments to make sure that it is going to make the money you need it to in order for the whole arbitrage situation to be successful for yourself.
Absolutely. And if you have questions about that, we are here to help. We have a very high-touch organization. I want you to click on the link below, and you're going to take a quick 1-minute personality, we call it our financial personality quiz. It's going to put you into 1 of 4 categories. With that, we're going to send out an application for a one-on-one conversation. And let's talk about that opportunity cost. And before you pay down your mortgage, and I'm not going to say pay down your car. I have a lot of people who do that. They meet us and they're saying, oh, I wish I had that money back to put back in principal, to invest, to grow faster. So you're going to see that the math equation will show itself very, very vividly with financially literate people. So take advantage of our quiz. Talk to our team one-on-one. I'm going to give you 2 tickets to our marketplace just so you can learn to make additional money. So those of you that are out there that are thinking, real estate's one way to make money, I need to make more money, I'm going to give you 2 tickets. They're in the link below. Grab them. Our team will call you and confirm you. We do them every 3 weeks. Come make some money with us and get some free leads and continue this journey of financial literacy. We'll talk to you tomorrow.